This session will be about the exams, okay? So we will go through the solutions from 2021, last year exams, and we will focusing not only on the answers. I'm positive each of you already did the answers and you have all those answers, yes. So we will focusing on what we saw, what was the mistake students was doing, okay, and where to concentrate this year when each of you are going to teach your students. Okay, let's go through the essentials math. As you know, there is 3 topics are covered in exam, and first topic is the measurements. Normally what we find out during the marking, probably students mostly struggling with the measurements. Okay, I don't know, we like this topic, it's a beautiful topic, it's a little bit straightforward topic, like, yeah, formula use, apply what you know, but students still struggling with the measurements, and also students struggling with interpretation of questions and putting that discussion, but normally it will be in statistics and investment and loans, okay? So when they need to put their own interpretation, like, or bring some reasons why this is happening. So students still struggling with all those questions. So we will go very quickly, not very quickly. If you will have questions in between, just feel free just to ask them straight away. Okay, good. So first question. Oops. No, it's going, yeah. A farming community is planning to have images painted on the front half of 4 silos. So that front half, actually, students are missing a lot. To purchase the correct amount of paint, the community needs to calculate the surface area to be painted. All 4 silos are cylinders and identical in size. Each silo, is that silo or silo? Silo, sorry, yeah. So, sorry guys, English is my 3rd language, okay? So it's not even 2nd, yeah. So I'm from Armenia, I speak fluently Armenian, Russian, and English, yes, so 3rd language. Sorry, silo, now I will remember, yes. So all 4 silos are cylinders and identical in size. Each silo is 22 meters high, okay, has a diameter of 10.6. The painted images will begin 0.75 meters above the ground. This is another thing students are missing, so it's very, very important to stress your students on reading the questions, like from the beginning to the end, okay? Like what they're saying, because a lot of students, they just say, oh, cylinders, yep, I can use that, but they miss that 0.75 above the ground. Okay, and we have the diagram here. So the first question, they ask you to calculate the circumference. Maybe half of the students, okay, when we was marking, was doing not the circumference, they was doing area. Okay, they was using area, yes, pi r square, they was using beautifully a radius divided by 2, but they was finding the area. So no, it's circumference, and again, I think they are just reading very quickly, because if they can apply that formula, we assume they know what is going on. So it's a, yeah, circle I need to do. So that's very important, and it's up to them if they want to use 2 pi r or pi d. Okay, so, and the answer is there. Normally with my students, yeah, in school, we always stress them to put 2 decimal places at the end, just to practice it later on for investment and loans when we have cents, okay? So it's like the habit, if they will do like 2 decimal places all the time, it's, yeah, so they will not be on the right side unless it is a question will mention like 3 decimals or something. The next question, so it's 1 mark, it's quite easy, and it's okay, of course, if students will not write down the formula, but in general, when the question is costing them 2 or 3 marks, and if they find out that the formula is correct, so they apply the right formula, they still can get the mark there. So it can be they apply the good formula, the right formula, but substitution is wrong, something went wrong there, okay? So we always ask students to write down the formulas. The second question is cost 2 marks, and it says show that the surface area to be painted on the half of 1 silo is approximately 350 square meters. So here students are not getting any mark for writing that 350, Okay, so if they will put 353.8, yes, so it's approximately that. But answer is given there. Okay, answer is given there, and normally it's 2 marks. Look, I just highlighted. So 1 to find out that this height, they took into consideration that 0.75 there. They took it into consideration, and of course it's a half of surface area, so divided by 2. So this is how we allocate these 2 marks. Next one. So calculate the total surface area that will need to be painted on the front half, okay, of the 4 silos. Of course, it's times by 2 times by 4. It's only 1 mark, so we are looking for the answer only, or they can show the working out there. The next bit of the question, they ask, calculate how many 15-liter cans of paint will need to be purchased to cover 3,000 meters square. So 1 mark is allocated like to do the correct operations here, so multiplying by 12 divided by 180, but 1 mark is allocated to see that the students understand that it have to be 17 cans, okay? So it's not 16.8, they are not buying the part of the can. They need to purchase those 17 cans. And even, for example, the students did these calculations are wrong, but they understand that it have to be to round up, not down, round up to correct number of the cans, they will get their 1 mark there. Okay, and the last question is, the community purchased 16 cans of paint using your answer in part, so in this part, show with calculation were this reasonable or not. Okay, so in these questions, again, it's 2 marks. 1, you need to discuss if it's reasonable or not, but first, they need to do the calculations. And for example, they did the wrong calculations, but they discussed correctly their answer, they still will get the mark there. So they did wrong, but then they discussed it correctly. What we find out in these questions, a lot of students was using not the previous one, so there was using there was using this one here, what they calculated, this 17 cans. So there was using this 3,000 meters square, not the part A3I, okay? So again, reading question correctly. Also in this part, I say if they use the 350, not their calculations, it's okay. It's okay. And normally questions given in the way on the middle, they have already solutions. So if students stuck, for example, on part 3 and AII, they can continue to do next parts, okay, because they can use the results from previous one. So that's this first question. No, straightforward, good, yeah. After you want to go through the next one, or you want me to go? Good. I go? All right. Okay, with the next question, actually, there was a lot of discussion about this shape, okay, with the SAYS board, with members, So when the printing was done, probably this gray area, which is not part of our actual area, some students was taking that in consideration. So we stress that says about this question, making them like, is it possible, like for students, special essentials math students, like the pictures will be like more clear, you know, so they will not like, are we looking for this line or that white line, or we are looking all this gray line, okay, because these all lines actually stress students a lot, okay, they stress students a lot, and we saw during the marking, like some was using one, some was using that, so we took that in consideration that it wasn't clear from the beginning, okay? So we took that in consideration, yes, and I'm positive this year we will have more clear picture there, okay? So that was, our concern about that picture. And again, they say calculate the area of the triangle, 1 mark, base times height divided by 2. Of course, they need to know that. Next one, show that the length of AC is 12 meters. Again, answer is there. Answer is there. So, and it's 2 marks, okay? And it's 2 marks. So, of course, we want to see the Pythagoras. And, of course, we want to see that it's adding, not subtracting. So a lot of students still confusing with the Pythagoras. But also, we want to see this 11.998, okay? So, the exact calculations. And look here, I put 3 decimal places. Yeah, it's okay. Or if they will write down 11.99, but not just to copy the answers. Because some of the students, you will surprise, but how many, they put negative here, or even doing 6.63 minus 10 squared minus 10 squared, which is like negative under the square root, but they was writing like equals 12, assuming that answer. Yes?
So would you take a mark off if they don't provide the 11.998 to 3 decimal places?
3 decimal places, no, we didn't take a mark.
No, the 3.
So the marks
So,
for the Pythag and then it equaling 12. Correct.
so this year so markers are good, okay? They are humans, they understand. We decided, okay, so like the mark here we wasn't taking, but we wanted to see the Pythag and we want to see like the correct numbers, okay? But I say we just was nice to the students. Next year, we assume that they grow, and actually we have all you, the teachers here, and we want you to teach them to write down the answer. So that's why we bring this to attention. So when the answer is given, don't just copy the answer. Yes, whatever you've got the calculator, even if they want to write down 5 decimal places, okay, write it down, okay? But not just copy the answer, because answer is already there. Answer is already there. The same is for next question. So we want to see that it's a minus. So we are finding the side. So it's hypotenuse minus another side. And we want to see this 4.66. Actually, you will be surprised from 2017, the level of students, the work they are producing, the folio task they're producing, it's increased a lot. It's increased a lot. And actually, guys, thank you very much, because you are teaching them in the right ways, okay? So it's you doing great job there. So that next one is just to find out the angle. If they want to show the calculation, of course, it's great. If they did just on a calculator straight, it's just 1 mark here. Next question is interesting, where it's 2 marks again. And in general, it was assumed that it will be the sign rule, okay, using the sign rule, and 2 marks allocated for writing that sign rule and to do the right rearrangements, okay? Not for answer, because answer is here, 3.9. The answer is here, so it's not for answer. So we want to see the rule and rearrangement. But if they use the cosine rule, it's fine as well, okay? So the answer will be slightly different. No, it's actually 387, okay? So it's correct. It's not like 2, just do only sine rule. Cos rule is okay there as well, okay? The next, yeah.
Haven't they usually been out of 3 marks in the past when using sine and cosine?
Sorry, so 3 marks, so they will use all 3 of them.
3 marks in the past.
Look, now, okay, in the past it was 3 marks because answer wasn't there. And we was looking also how they plug all this in a calculator. Of course, they will not do that in their mind, okay? So how correct they plug, because you know, if they will do just this times this and divide it, not as a fraction, the answer will be wrong. Okay, so 3 marks was just to find out the answer as well. Here we've got the answer. The answer is already given, and actually when answer is given, it helps students as well. For example, they've got something wrong, so it's another technique you can teach I'm positive you are doing that. Like, okay, you got it wrong, think what you did wrong, okay? So it's like, yeah, there was a question at the back.
So 1 mark for the formula and the application and 1 for the rearrangement. If they respond, that's the first step, and the 3.87, they get 2 there?
So if they did rearrangement straight, like from here straight away 3.87, they will go there 2 marks, yeah. Because normally when we mark, if the answer is there, like for answer only, and if it's correct, because we don't want to see that 3.9 and 3.87, definitely student did some work, okay? He will not just guess from his mind that probably it will be 3.87. It's definitely needs a work. Of course, he will get the marks. Yeah. Why I'm stressing? I always stress my students to write down the formula, because if the formula is correct, okay, let's say here, but then he or she did like wrong calculations, like don't put the brackets or don't use that fraction, we see that they did a great job there, okay? They're capable of doing all that, so they still have the full mark. So even without this answer there, okay? So they still have full mark there, okay? Yes?
Do you take marks off students with off units?
Oh, we not, okay, but not always. I say the level, it's growing up and up, but for my students, and I know a lot of, actually not a lot, every teacher, like saying units are very important. So still teach them, it's very important. Don't let them like, oh, they are not taking any marks, so just leave it. Okay. In general, marks probably, if they are not using units, the rule is it's not, as you see, there is no half marks. In year 12 exams, we are not giving half marks. It's okay if you're giving half marks in your tests, okay, it's fine. But in assessed exams, doesn't matter. Spec, methods, general, essentials, there is no half marks. If student is missing all the units, normally it's taking 1 mark for all exam, not like mark here, mark here, mark here, mark here. It's not fair for them as well. Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, the next one is just to see that they are using the formula for trapezium, okay, and that they are using the right height and right other side, okay, because a lot of students like missing the, not missing, they swap these 2 numbers, okay, so just recognizing the shape. Which shape is there? Yeah. So it's a trapezium, and this bit here is the height. So side, side, and the height. Okay. So those 2 marks there, and yeah. Yeah. So here it's trapezium. If they did the triangle and rectangle divided, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. So because, yeah, if they are using this triangle here to find out the area, this rectangle, but is that rectangle? It's not rectangle, it's still trapezium. It's not 90 degrees. Yeah, they cut it up, yeah. So if they cut it up and make like a smaller shapes and add them together, it's fine. Okay, it's fine there. Okay, next question is straightforward. Again, it's a total just to see, yeah. And again, the answer not for those 70. 70 is there. So they need to show that they're adding these 2. Okay, they're adding these 2, either showing this, either showing this answer, okay, or whatever decimals they have there, okay, if they round up incorrectly or something. So that's the, yeah. So next one, and actually this, no, the last one, yeah. This type of the questions students don't like. They just don't like those questions, you know, even it's like logical, just answer all that. And what we see a lot, some of them just answering in general, it's like from book, they copy it on a cheat notes and they are just, help notes, sorry. Yeah, help note, and they just copy this statement like for any case, okay? So normally I say it was a little bit hard to mark this question because of the shape. It was like unclear shape, but in general, when they are using using these rules with shapes to cover irregular shape, we want them to talk about unbalanced, included, and yeah, of the balancing, including and excluding areas. Okay, which one, like how much left up and how much is left inside. Okay, so this balance we want to see, and so they need to mention is that reasonable or not reasonable shape there was using. Is that reasonable to use that method? A lot of students was saying here like Simpson's rules will be better estimation, but in this question they didn't ask, okay? So that's why we were thinking like probably teacher thought like if they will ask about those irregular shapes, Simpson's rules is the best to find out. It will be more accurate, okay? So in general, we want them like how much is outside and how much is not including like those. So it's balanced. If it's balanced, yes, it's reasonable to use it, okay? And even if the student like say, we decided like we all see it's reasonable, but if the student make like discussion, his argument, so he decided not, you know, it's fine as well, unless he mentioned what his decision there, okay, why he explained. Yeah, he need to justify his reason why he is saying that, yeah. And here I said it was hard question to mark because a lot of students was talking about dark area, gray area, all that. So hopefully, yeah, I'm positive next year we will have more, yeah, clear shape there. And I think that, yeah, and the last bit, when they ask you to calculate, using the information, calculate the number of trips. Okay, 3 marks, 1 for the volume, 1 for the mass, 1 for this rounding up. Okay, so again, students here where we don't give the mark like they did everything correct and write down 7.3, they will lose a mark. Okay, you can't do 7.53 trips. Okay, it's for them recognizing it's a whole number have to be, and it have to be round up, always rounding up. Yes.
So if they get the answer wrong, but rounded up correctly.
They will have mark for that. Yes. Yeah. So they show they understand what's going on. Yeah, they understand what's going on. Yeah. Questions? No? Okay, and the last question of measurements, it's a beautiful achievement, an ice cream cone. Yeah, we like something yummy always. Yeah. So the formulas are here. Formulas are given. Okay, formulas are given. So there is no excuse that they don't put those fractions, but I highlighted it here. It's a lot of students, I don't know, they write 2/3, 4/3 here. So I don't know why they put like, yeah, sometimes we are assuming like maybe they divided already by 2. So you start to think, but normally, no, I don't know why they didn't read the formulas correctly. So again, it's a 3 marks, I think 4 marks here. 1, to recognize that the radius will be the half of that. Okay, so radius is there. Then the volume of hemisphere and volume of cone. Okay, so hemisphere, it have to be divided by 2. And the total when they add it together. And again, as a previous question, if they did the calculations like wrong here, but they add the wrong calculation, they still got the mark. So we'll see that they understand it's 2 shapes. We calculate, we add them together. That will be the total volume. Okay. And the last one, they state if the ice cream mass is more than 1 ton. Justify your answer with calculations. So they need to show the calculation. So 1 mark going for stating, but you can't state without calculations. You will be surprised how many students, they say no, and then no, they say yes, but then did the right calculation, but they didn't change their reasonableness, okay? Probably it's a good idea to say them, whatever you do, if they say the calculations, do calculations first. Do calculations first and then put the reason, okay? So those 2 marks for this. And we finish with, yeah.
Sorry, also if they actually just put no or yes, or if they say
Yeah.
it's less than or more than 1 ton, without the calculation, they get a 0.
Yeah.
They need to justify, because, 50-50 chance, let me give it a guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say some questions we need those calculations, some questions not, because we can see that they're thinking there. Okay, so moving to statistics. Okay, statistics normally all on a calculator, as you know. Yes, so using the calculator. Statistics questions, students did well. Okay, they did well, unless it comes again to discussion. Okay, so when it comes to reasoning, students are struggling with those questions. They are struggling with reasoning questions. And what, for example, we do at school, we put more reasonable, like questions with putting reasons or something during the test. Okay, so they practice them more and more and more. Okay, not only calculations, all that, the reason why. Okay, discuss this, discuss that, which is a good idea to practice with them as well. So the first bit here, we have the data. So they need to put the data in and fill this table. So 1 mark, so mean and median, it's going like 1 mark, because if they did mistakes in putting data, that means first and the second will be wrong as well. Okay, so these two are going together, they are reading. Then the standard deviation for the males and the calculations for IQR. If they didn't show the calculations, they just put 4.4, it's fine. Okay, it's fine because again, they can't guess that number there. Okay, so then with box plots, okay, so there's 3 marks for that. 1 is for the labeling. 1, they put those numbers correct because they need to calculate to know those numbers. And 1 is for scale position. So it's not like drawing here somewhere the box and whisker plot and say, yes, the numbers are correct, everything, but scale and position using this number line is wrong, okay? So this is how we allocate those 3 marks, okay? Good. Next question, again, state 1 conclusion that can be made about the life expectancy.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's right. Not me, that's important. Yeah. Okay. So normally it's a reason, and you will see with a graph, like with the calculations, it just females' life expectancy is higher or females live longer. Okay, something like that. Normally the students did well in this question. The next question is 2 marks. They say using statistical measures. So they need to use some. They need to use IQR or standard deviation or range or all of them actually, okay? So in general, it's IQR and standard deviation, but yeah, range as well, okay? So it's mentioned using statistical measures to support your answer. Explain whether females or males in 2018 have more variability in their life expectancy. Of course, they need to mention that males or females have more variability. Sorry, guys. Yeah, variability. Okay, and the second, they need to use these statistical measurements. Okay, they need to use the statistical measurements, so they need to mention. And some students are liking, I've seen the IQR is bigger, the standard deviation is higher, or something. Yeah, I didn't put like exactly what it is. Yeah, so yeah, some of the students they're writing the numbers as well. Standard deviation is this. Yeah, yes.
I presume they'll be consistent, so all 3 IQR, standard deviation and range will all be larger as opposed to, say, range being smaller but IQR and standard deviation being bigger, so they have to turn around and say, well, IQR and standard deviation are much better measures of variability in range.
So it's again, they can. So that's why here, look, I didn't put the numbers exactly like what's the calculation, something. But if they use that statistical measure and correctly, that's what we are looking. Okay, so with the data, I don't remember what data was there. So what we had. So IQR is females is higher. Standard deviations, yes, they're higher. What about the range? Females range, do we have range here? Anyone calculated the range?
At the top. No,
We have-
2.9 and 83.8, Joanna. So
Where's this?
we have the maximum in there.
Yeah. We have those, but I say like I didn't calculate like what the range is. Yeah. So normally, yeah, the range small and all that. All those answers are correct. All those answers correct. Actually, I say the way you said, it's beautiful if they will do that. Of course, it's nice, and we will be like, well done, you know. But even mentioning one of those measurements, it's enough, okay? Of course, we want all of them, yes, to discuss all that, yeah. But, you know, essentials kids, yeah, we have some very, very, very bright. Some of them, they understand, but they're lazy to write it down as well. So even mentioning like one, which is higher, which is lower, it will be enough. It will give them the grade. Yes?
I was just going to ask a question because I know some other subjects in Year 12 don't necessarily allow abbreviations. Like, I understand what they're still saying.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yes, it's okay. Which subject's not allowed abbreviation?
Yeah, psychology sometimes.
Oh no, it's English, yeah. So math is good. Okay. Math, yeah. Math is short and nice and good, yeah. So yeah, actually in my classroom I always have the rule, like if the students will find out 5 my mistakes in any class, yeah, I will bring chocolates or lollies next lesson, and actually it's make them to be more involved in what you are writing on whiteboard because they want to find out mistakes. And sometimes with English, you know, spelling like how to spell, and I put abbreviation and they're Miss A. I said, no, it's English, math. Okay, so no, we allowed, no problems at all, with abbreviations. Okay, and again, explain what conclusion can be made about the life expectancy of Australians in 2018 when compared with the regions of the world, okay? In general, yes, 2 marks, we want to see that both females and males have the higher life expectancy. Even before in the question, they was talking about females and males in Australia, that it's different, okay? But here it's for both males and females, it's higher. It's okay, we was, normally we want these 2 words, yeah, but some students was liking all Australians like having, yeah, so we was giving them marks, full marks for that as well. But I say it's just, yeah, being nice, but this is what we want to see. Okay, next question. Actually, these questions, the students did good in part A and B, and then it was some confusion, yeah, later on. So it's about canteen, yes, yeah. Oliver in researching the consumption of energy drinks. And he asks only year 9s, he asks only during the lunch, okay? So here they ask 2 concerns. So it's just 2 concerns. It's not explaining, not discussing them. It's just 2 concerns we want to see here, okay? If they discuss, it's bonus point, okay? Unfortunately, we can't give bonus marks there, but well done, okay? Well done there. And normally for 2 concerns, yeah, it's only canteen, only year 9s, only 7 days. The sample size is too small, okay? Some reasonable, yeah. And you will be surprised how creative students, sometimes they put some reasons, you are like, oh, yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, we didn't thought about that, yeah. So encourage them to think, not just to give the answer, like what you think? What do you think about this? What can be like reasonable, not reasonable? Next question, students did well. Okay, so just calculate year 9, the percentage of year 9. And again, decimals, normally we don't want them a lot, but if they did a lot, it's okay. This question was like 50-50. Okay, so of course it's stratified, it's a school, okay, we have the year levels, okay, so it's not systematic, it's not random, it's not I don't know what is self something, I don't know, sometimes they are using some new methods which not exist, yeah, but yeah, whatever. So we want to see it stratified. So they recognize when it's a group levels, it's like if it's in a workplace, it's managers, it's designers, it's constructors. In a school, definitely, different year levels. Of course, we want to see that word stratified sampling there, okay? And the last bit, again, they need to put 2 reasons. Again, without discussion, just 2 reasons, okay? And normally we talk about that all year levels will be included, okay? And the proportion of year levels will be the same. It's not because sometimes, yes, a question? No? Yeah, that's right, yeah. So it's very important about this proportion as well, because proportionality, like bigger class, more students from there, smaller class, less students for there. So these 2 things we want to see, or you find out something else, it's fine, okay? So, any questions with stats? Going all right? Okay, the last question with the statistics. Again, data is given and scatter plot. So, yep, they just need to mention these 2 points. They don't need to write down it's 1980, 2004. The only thing, please ask students to use like maybe bolder or crosses, because some students like put like so tiny, and until you put glasses and look, I always use glasses, yeah, but you can't see them. So just make it a little bit bold that these points are there. Normally all students did very good here. The second question, they say calculate the coefficient of determination, R squared. So it's mentioned, it's not R, it's R squared, and state the strength of the relationship. So 1 mark to find out that R squared, and then to discuss. Look, I put strong, very strong. Actually, it's very strong, it's not strong, but both of them we are taking like incorrect. If they calculate this coefficient wrong, okay, let's say they put 0.3, but they say that's the weak correlation, they will go there 1 mark, okay? Also, you probably know with a new subject outline, it will be some changes. So now to determine the strength of the correlation. Actually, we always was using R squared. In Hazy book, they start to use R, value type table R. Now it's back to R squared. Okay, so it's back to R squared. The says send us email. Yeah, just check with your coordinator. I think they changed teachers as well. So there's slightly, so it's just using that R square, okay? That's a new, not new, it's normally what should be, yeah. So next question. State in 1980 a number of countries withdrew from Olympic Games, okay? State why the set of data for the year 1980 does not appear to be an outlier. Normally, we talk in a trend of the data, okay? So if it's close to that trend and the trend is less countries, less athletes will be there, okay? So that's why we are not counting it as an outlier, okay? So something about trend, something about less countries, less athletes, like something about that we are looking at, it's just 1 mark there. Then they ask to find out the equation of least square regression line. 2 marks, 1 that x is not included, guys. So 2 mark is 49.8 and another mark for 698. Okay, those numbers. In general, if they did everything correct, these 2 will be correct as well, okay? It's just making them to read correctly their calculations or what they have on a calculator. Okay. And these questions when students were struggling a little bit. So, in general, they ask you to calculate the number of athletes. You've got the regression line. You have the equation of regression line. You just need to substitute that 29 there, and you will have your answer, okay? So you will have your answer. If they did the equation is wrong, and they use that equation, they are not losing marks there, okay? So it's carry on mistake. It's still there, but it's a 2 marks. So they say gives a reasonable prediction and justify. So justify, it's not reasonable, okay, to have this amount of athletes there, okay? So again, if they write a big, nice sentences, it's fine, but if they just use short words like to saying that, it's fine as well, okay, it's fine as well. The next one, this is when the rearrangement comes, okay, and actually it's like substitution and rearrangement. These, if they will give, of course, it's good, okay, and you will be surprised how many students did all this correctly, but took that minus away. And actually, I understand how they was thinking. So it's not possible, you know, our X will be, its number of people to be negative. Well done there, but if it's a negative, it's just negative. So it's just the calculations they want, because later on the question asks to discuss it, okay? Or they need to write out in negative and maybe in a bracket say it can't be negative, okay? So a lot of students was confused, like they understand that it have to be positive, they understand that, but they don't trust their calculations probably, yes. So yeah, It's there, whatever you've got, just write it down. And then in this question was blank for a lot of students, okay? And here it's mentioned, explain why it is unreasonable, so they know it's unreasonable already, by using part E and part F, okay? So actually it's a little bit like, because they say unreasonable, if the student write reasonable here, logically said, oh, but the answer already there. It should be unreasonable. I can change it, all right? So, but they're using this one that it's unreasonable, and they're using this that it's negative. It can't be negative. So these two reasons, they need to write down their statement there, okay? Good. And then investment and loans. You want to do? No? All right. Okay. Okay. Investment and loans, actually nice topic, but a lot of students still continuing to use the formulas, guys. And it's nice if you teach them to use the formula, rearrange the formula, all that, but they are doing a lot of mistakes. Like 90, maybe 95% even of the students who are using the formulas do the mistakes, do it incorrectly. Okay, so it's nothing wrong to use the calculators because, yeah, it's an easy way just to teach them to press the buttons. I always say, guys, if you will learn how to press the buttons, your B grade there is like guaranteed, just to understand what to put, what to that. So please, it's good. Yeah, I know in a textbook it's it's a formulas, but if you will go and read the outlier, the subject outlier, okay, it didn't mention that they need to do the formulas, okay? It didn't mention, so it's nothing wrong to put straight away and use the calculators. Yeah, the first question, it's 2 marks, and calculate the quarterly contribution, okay? So this divided by 4. Okay, some students are dividing by 2. I don't know why. Yes, so this divided by 4, it's 1 mark, and of course you just multiply. Yeah, and conversion to actually it's going all together. Like this is in decimals, the percentage in decimals. Then it's actually guys, I'm very sorry. So it should be minus there, okay? So I was going through the answers. I know some teachers are teaching not to put any negatives, positives, and then when its answer comes like not exist or something like error, then to think where to put negatives. The way I'm teaching to my students, when you give away money, even you put it in your account, well done, your money is growing there, but you took from you put in another account, it's minus, you take it away. When you get it, even it's a loan, which is not your money, yeah, but you get it, so it's positive. So probably the easiest way to remember. And also when the solution's not here, but when they calculate, and the number comes like negative, that means, yeah, it's your repayments. Yeah, you pay, it's negative, but money can't be negative. Here it's very important, maybe not with percentages, but to keep 2 decimal places, okay? It's again their understanding that it's a dollar and this is cents, okay? Here we are looking for these two decimal places. So here the percentage is already there, so the answer is given. What we are looking, just the correct entries. Okay, just the correct entries, because if you will put, this number will come correctly, and of course those negatives, so 2 marks is just for correct entries, okay? So, and calculated correctly, payment on the right side, and future value, so it's not a present value, it's a future value. Okay, yep. Which one? Yeah, so if they work it down, like, yeah, some of the students, they was putting 6.74 and was finding out n, or they was finding out a future value, so backwards working, using these percentages, that's fine as well. Okay, that's fine as well, yeah. But again, it should be like, yeah, putting this will be the answer, okay? So it's fine with that. Thank you, Aphrodite, yeah, thank you. Yeah, here it's 1 mark because the settings, so actually it's for, actually it's for the answer, okay? It's for the answer, and again, sorry, it's a negative have to be there, okay? Negative have to be there, yes, so, yeah, nothing there, yes? just the entries and then the answer, yeah. So next question, yeah. So next question again, I just, yeah. So again, negatives. I'm very, very, very sorry. Yes, you put it, yeah. This is actually when I was rushing copying the answers actually. Yeah. So some teachers, remember I said they are teaching just not to put, because if they will not put negatives here, this answer will come with a negative and the students will write it down as a positive, okay? So it's fine, but we want them to recognize if you put money away or you get money, okay? So we want to see that. So this question again, 2 marks just to finding. 1 mark comes from these 500,000 minus 20. So they recognize that it's already 20,000 they withdraw before from that money. And then the effect. The effect is just one, just the difference between those numbers. And again, if they did the calculations wrong using those numbers, it's fine. It's fine. So they just carry on the mistake. And again, the worded like discussion question where students are struggling. Explain why Lola's balance is reduced by more than 20,000. So in general, we want to see the principal was reduced, that why the interest was reduced. Okay, so the principal she withdraw, it's less money there, okay? Not, again, these words, it's not exactly these words they need to use, okay? So their own words, it's okay, English, rich language, we like it, okay? So just use and put, yeah. So, but we want that this money was withdrawn, so it's less money in account and it will be, yeah, so less interest will be, so it's less the balance. And then it says, state one strategy. I put 3 of them, okay, they can add. So 1, it's more than enough, okay. Increase her contribution, higher funds, change fund to the higher interest rate, okay. So 1 of those answers, or they can be another answer, so it's fine. And it's just one strategy. So it's just, not discuss anything. Next question, calculate the flat rate in return. It's okay, a lot of students using the graphics calculator for that, it's fine, okay. If they use a formula, it's fine as well. So with graphic calculator, probably it will be 2 marks, but that's okay. So they plug the numbers correctly. Normally, we want to see that what they recognize, which one is the interest, which one is the principal, okay? So like the difference between them, but for both of them, it's okay. Okay, and then about tax, beautiful questions. Students like those questions. So yeah, just multiplying. The only thing we are looking here that this conversion from percentages to decimals, okay, and they got the answer. And then after tax return, just taking them away, 1 mark. It's more than enough, and students did well there, okay. So next question, show that Stefan's account earned 4.43%. Again, this question, one of the questions where they can work backwards, okay? Just put 4.43 and find out N, or to find out one of those, okay? It's fine again. So, and if they're finding the interest, so mark, it's not for 4.3, the mark is for how they put the numbers, and especially recognizing that N will be 1.5 times 52, and future value will be 4,000 plus 275, okay? So in general, these numbers we are looking, yeah, because if those correct, they will get the right answer there. Okay, this question, calculate how many less weeks, okay? So they want how many less weeks. That means they need to calculate N, and this is their second mark. Second mark, like how many less? Take away 78 minus that 60.8, okay? So that's what we are looking, not just calculate how many weeks it will take, it's mentioned how many less weeks, okay? 2 marks allocated there. Okay. Yeah, is that the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going good, yes. Yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free, yeah, to ask, yeah. Again, first question is just to find out, show the Calip's Caleb will need to borrow 50,000 after paying 5%. So the answer is already there, okay? So answer is already there. So 1 mark just to show is 0.95 times by 600,000, okay? So yeah, just keep in mind, sometimes, as you see in a lot of questions, we already give the answer. So it's in general make the student life easier so they can see that if they are doing well, or if they're stuck on this question, they can continue with question B. They can continue with question C because they can use those answers there. Okay, so next one, again, 2 marks, it's like for the entries and getting the result because they are going to use that result furthermore, okay? But in general, if the entry is all correct, they are getting their marks there. Okay, yeah, this one, okay, again, 2 marks for doing the right entries. The 1 mark when they are converting because this question says the time in years. Okay, the time in years, that 3rd mark here just for the conversion, just for dividing by 12. So they read carefully, so it's not in weeks, it's it's in years. These questions, was very, very bad done. Okay, so it's a lot of students that what was messy, it was all wrong, it was empty. It was actually empty. And sometimes this is last questions, they leave them empty because of the time as well. They concentrate doing the previous. So so I always ask my students, because there are students who is more successful in investment and loans, some of them good in measurement. So start with the topic you are good, not just go through all the tests. It's fine. So in general, they ask, calculate the interest Caleb would save by paying 20% deposit rather 5% deposit. So the first mark to find out the interest if they pay 5% of the deposit. Second, if it's 20%, and the last mark, it just sees the difference because they ask you to find out the difference, okay? And then it's discussion, okay? In discussion, in general, what we want to see to save those 20%, so it discuss the reasonableness. So they need to mention if it's reasonable or not and discuss it, okay? So the discussion normally, probably in this question, we want to see to save 20% deposit, it's a lot of money. Okay, it's a lot of money. So we want to see that they are saying like it's hard to save, it's a significant amount of money, or they need to mention that maybe that person working well and can't save it, but it's a big amount of money, and it would depend if he can save or access that amount, okay? They put other discussions, students, they're saying, but saving 20%, the loan will be repaid earlier, all that. But here we are not looking like what will happen with the loan, okay? We are not looking what happens with the loan, like how reasonable to have this 20%. Okay, and if they will say, he's on a good position, getting like $1 million per year, it's nothing wrong, so he can save, it's fine. Okay, so this. I think that's all from me. If you have any questions. One more time, guys, I want to thank you for doing this incredible job, okay? I know how hard to teach essentials, So, and they are low level, they are wonderful kids. Give them opportunity to show their knowledge, And we all understand, what they are doing and how they're doing. And now, actually, we are grateful they are in those classes, okay? Continuing, challenging themselves, yes. We like, of course, when students dropping from methods, coming to essentials and like, but it happens. Of course, it happens. You all know that, yes. But thank you very much for doing such an incredible job. Okay, so that probably, our message. Okay, so no questions? Thank you.